Today is glaze day. Today I was able to open my first glaze kiln load. And I was surprised, disappointed, shocked, but then excited. So I've got some good results and some really, really bad results. But it's my first time. I'm still learning. The glazes that I used were all Mako brand. I am not sponsored by them, but I just figured they're a very reliable brand that I've seen. They've gotten good reviews, so I figured it would be a good starting point. Basically tried 3 different types of glazes. Now I bisque fired. My goal was to get it to, I think, 04, and it did not fully mature. I kind of experimented a little bit to see what I did wrong. So for my final glaze firing, I wanted to get to cone 6 because I was using porcelain. I wanted to get a higher fire range because I thought maybe that would be the best thing to do. And I was able to get to cone 6, so I was very excited about that. But I think that some of the glazes I used were not happy with getting to the cone 6. So the results, we see, I melted my poor husband, Michael. I used what is it called? Fundamentals Underglaze. And I used the underglaze before I did the bisque fire. And then after the bisque fire, I used the crystal clear glaze, and it melted. It is all streaked, all melted. I don't know what kind of clay this is. I made this in college about 18 years ago. So I had no idea what kind of, it's some sort of sculpture clay, but I'm thinking the maturity rate was less than cone 6. I don't think it was a mid-range clay because it is cracked everywhere. It did melt a little bit, and then I have this, I don't know if you could see it, but one of my cones actually melted off of its stand and attached itself to poor Michael. What I am excited about is this beautiful, beautiful Mako stroke and coat. It turned out great. It handled cone 6. This is on Laguna Dave's porcelain, and I am so pleased with this tea set. The only thing that went awry was another cup. This cup seemed to kind of spontaneously combust. I don't know. And I'm thinking a little part of it got inside of here. And one of the little plates cracked all the way through the middle. So I don't know if my firing went too fast. I did it in 9 hours. So I don't know if maybe I need to do it a little bit slower. I don't know if that's what the problem is. So it does seem like there was some issues. These are perfect examples. This cup, I did the underglaze before the bisque, and then I clear coated it after the bisque. This cup, same design, same colors. Everything as far as the glaze is the same. It came out beautiful. I did the underglaze after the bisque, and then I did the clear coat after I underglazed it. And it came out just lovely, but they're also 2 different types of clays. This is Dave's porcelain, and this is mystery clay. I don't know what it is. It looks like chocolate pudding when it's wet. I have it in a bucket. It was given to me. And so it's really, really grainy. I'm thinking it's some sort of a stoneware. So it's possible that the problem is I fired it too high of a temperature for this type of body of clay. So I will have to try doing this at a lower cone. I'm really, really excited about my samurai mug. It turned out beautiful. It's this stoneware type clay that I don't know what it is. And I used the Foundations opaque glaze. This came out beautiful. I am so happy with that. This was also an interesting one. I used the foundation's opaque for the black inside and the yellow, and it's beautiful, solid, absolutely beautiful. But I did the design with Stroke and Coat, and the Stroke and Coat did seem to kind of feather. It's the design isn't crisp and smooth, but it turned out beautiful. It's really kind of a cool effect. And that was the same idea with this. The design kind of melted, but that's okay. So all in all, I'm pretty happy. This one was interesting. This is this is similar to this, except this is porcelain and this is stoneware, but it has the same effect. I did the underglaze before the bisque, and then I clear coated it after the bisque firing. And it has these little bubbles all over it that are like you could pop, but it's glass and I don't want to cut myself because I've already cut myself. I cut myself on the shelf. I think it was this part melted to the shelf, and I was like, "Ooh, let me feel it," and it's glass and it cut me. But anywho, I don't know if I could maybe refire this at a lower temperature and put a hold on it and see if that will smooth out those bubbles. I'm gonna try it because this was a really cute cup and it took me a long time to carve it. This one was one that I colored with the foundations. I did the foundations before the bisque to see how that would turn out. And it had pinholes missing all over it, and then it actually cracked off right here. So I tried reglazing it with just one layer and then refired it to see if that would fix it. And it fixed the mistakes on the inside. It fixed some of the pinholes, but there's still some that it didn't. And then this part, it didn't fix at all, but it's still cool. This was another example of this my little kitty. It's so cute. The underglaze like brand, and I did all this underglaze before the bisque. I did this underglaze after the bisque, and it's perfect. It's absolutely beautiful. It turned out really nice. So I'm thinking maybe I just need to start doing my underglaze after the bisque, or just fire at a lower temperature. I don't know. So anyway, it's all learning. I'm gonna do my next fire at a much lower temperature because obviously things aren't going crazy here. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm learning, and you know, every time you do something new, you're gonna fail, but it's all about your attitude. I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm still really excited about this whole process of learning. And a lot of videos only show the success. A lot of videos are how to do this. And sometimes you watch those videos and you feel a little daunted starting something new because you make so many mistakes and you don't always see the whole process of how they got to that point. So I'm really excited to share my process with you guys because failing is a part of it. And if you don't have a good attitude about your failures, you're never gonna enjoy fully getting to your success, or you may not even get there at all because you give up. And I am not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give up. So anywho. Yeah, Cheez Whiz.